Arsenal 6, Racing Club de Lens 0. And that was an emphatic Arsenal victory to not only guarantee our place in the next round of the Champions League, but guarantee our place as top of the table going through, meaning we will face a second-seeded team in the next round, the round of 16, with a game to spare as well. So we might as well send out the academy kids to PSV in a couple of weeks' time. I'm absolutely delighted with the result, with the performance, exactly what the doctor ordered for us. And we're through to the next round of the Champions League, and that's exactly the first protocol. Whenever it comes to getting in the Champions League, right? First things first, get out of the group. And if you can finish top, even better. And Arsenal done exactly that with a game to spare. And look, I know obviously it's not the toughest group we could have had. There's other teams around that we could have got that would have been tough, especially as a pot 2 team entering the Champions League. But you can only beat what's in front of you. Now, Sevilla, PSV, and RC Lens are 3. Luckily, none of them are world beaters, but they're 3 okay sides. Like none of them are easy pickings whatsoever. And we made them look quite ordinary, especially today. I thought we made Lens look like a second-rate, third-rate team, to be honest with you guys. And that's nothing against Lens, because we saw that in France are a decent team. The only thing is, Arsenal in Champions League were different caliber, man. Different quality in the Champions League, guys. When it comes to the Premier League, we're a little bit off it. I think it's because the teams that play us in the Premier League, they sit back so much so that we're forced to play very much a possession-style football. We're trying to break them down. And our matches, actually, to be honest with you guys, is quite boring in the Premier League. But when we come to the Champions League, teams think, oh, because it's a Champions League, they can go toe-to-toe with us. They try and press us all up the pitch. They go man for man. They isolate our wingers, and we just cut them to pieces. Same thing happened to PSV a few weeks back when we played them and won 4-0. Happened to Sevilla. We only won 2-0 that day, but that performance easily could have been a good 3-4-0. And again today against Lens, 6-0, cut them apart. There was no double team on our wingers. We were just scoring for absolute fun. So Champions League is probably our best bet in terms of winning over the Premier League, because we look on fire in this competition, guys. Absolutely on fire. I mean, look at the last team we had when we won the Champions League. You got like Flamini, El Neni, Iwobi, Danny Welbeck. You got players like this, man. Now look at the team we're coming into the Champions League now. Like, we're going to go into the knockout rounds as a number 1 team in our group with a team with Ødegaard, Saka, Martinelli, Declan Rice, William Saliba. Like, the golfing quality from the last time we won the Champions League is stark. And that's why I'm so excited. Like, guys, I'll be honest with you. Even heading into this game, I'm a bit bored of the group stage now. I'm a little bit bored of it. Obviously, job done, 6-0. We finished top of the table. When we go Eindhoven in a few weeks' time, play all the academy players in my eyes, just get job done, give them some Champions League experience. I want to get into the knockout rounds now. I want to go into a knockout Champions League with actual confidence that my team can go far. Because as long as I've been alive, I was born in 2002. I first remember watching Arsenal around 2008, 2009. So I don't really remember the Champions League final in 2006. So as long as I've been on this planet watching Arsenal Football Club, I've not remembered us once having a competitive Champions League team. Not once in my lifetime. Every time I've watched us in the Champions League, we get bounced in the last 16 or the quarterfinals to a Bayern Munich, Barcelona, AC Milan, or Monaco if they're about, something like that. Now, I genuinely have belief that if we avoid Man City, if we avoid Real Madrid, and to an extent Bayern Munich, we can go very far in this Champions League. Genuinely very far. We're better than the vast majority of these Champions League teams. The vast majority of them. So I'm very excited going into the knockout rounds. Very excited. It's a good time to be an Arsenal fan. And again today, we showed how good we are, man. There's a real golfing quality today. I love the fact that we came into this game knowing we had to win. Knowing we had to get revenge on Lens after what they did to us in France a few weeks back. And more importantly, knowing that we had the opportunity to not only qualify, but finish top of this Champions League group with a game to spare. And we did exactly that. You've got Manchester United, for example. They're struggling. They might not even make it out the Champions League after drawing away in Istanbul today. So we've done our job. I'm absolutely delighted. 6 goals, clean sheet as well. You saw the way Gabriel celebrated at the end with a clean sheet. That's that mentality I like in the team where everything matters. I know it's 6-0 up, but making sure it's 6-0 and not 6-1. The defenders celebrate clean sheets like it's goals they're scoring themselves. I love to see that from our team. So everything's clicking in the right direction. 6 goals, like I said, 6 different goal scorers as well. Havertz scored the first goal. Really delighted to see that because I know he scored obviously against Brentford, the winner, in the 89th minute. But I did say after that one, can he follow it on now with multiple consecutive good performances in a row? And it seems as though again today, good performance, got a goal as well, Havertz. Saka scored, Jesus scored, Ødegaard scored, Martinelli scored. Our whole front 5 scored today. Brilliant stuff. And look at the quality of goals we scored as well, guys. Look at the quality, man. Like, I've been critical of us in the Premier League saying that we've not been good enough in terms of actually scoring chances. I remember Monday Night Football with Jamie Carragher actually analysed Arsenal's quality and said that in front of goal, we've not been up to par this season. I agree with them 100%. Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, Jesus have not been anywhere near the quality we've seen of them from last season. Nowhere near. But today they showed real quality. And I like to see that because, guys, look, I'll come out and I've said that Arsenal are not worse than last season. We're just more boring. I feel like we've become a bit more robotic. We play a lot more like Man City now. Whereas last year, we played a bit more free-flowing, emphatic. Games were fun, energetic. We'd go toe-to-toe with other teams, end-to-end stuff. That's why we had scorelines like 3-2 against Man United, 3-2 against Liverpool, 4-2 against Villa, 3-2 against Bournemouth. We would go tit for tat with the other teams. Whereas this season, Arteta just pulled the handbrake up. He's really squeezing on, you know what? Let's just focus on defense first. We've basically become a machine where we don't allow any sort of counter-attack, don't allow any sort of transition, and try and just hit teams basically on moments where we just have magical moments to win matches, just like the game against Brentford. But I feel like sometimes you just got to put the handbrake down and let the team do what they do best. Like today was just an exhibition of why Arsenal won the best teams in Europe. Won the exhibitions, man. Like, because 6-0, we blew them apart, Lons. Like, I'm not being funny. I know Lons obviously are a top 4 team. They're not exactly Real Madrid, Barcelona, or anything like that. But they made the Champions League. They're not a scrub team. They beat us in France. They're a decent team. They were 8 unbeaten going into this game, I believe. And their striker, Eli Wahi, is one of the best young players about. So they're no scrubs. But we made them look basically bang average today. We made them look like a second, third-rate team, like a championship team. Let's be real about it. But that shows the quality we have. Like, we're a good football team, guys. A really good football team we've got right here. We just need to show it more often. Show it much more often because we can blow away the vast majority of teams in this Premier League. Now, when we're playing against a team like Man City, Chelsea away, a Newcastle, a Manchester United away, I agree that we have to play a bit more defensive because Arsenal were good for the vast majority of games last season. But when it came to playing Man City, we lost 7-2 on aggregate because at home and away, we got dunked on. We got absolutely dunked on because Man City did what they did best, which was basically counterattack us and just basically taught us a lesson. Whereas now, we're actually playing a bit more defensive, a bit more robotic. When we played Man City Emirates, Man City had 4 shots all game. Haaland had an XG of like 0.03. Like, literally, Saliba put Haaland in his back pocket and didn't let him out. So, I understand playing that way against the big teams, but I want to see us, for example, when we play Wolves on the weekend on Saturday, play like we did today. Go for them from minute 1. We've not scored an opening goal in the Premier League for, I think in the first 15 minutes all season. We're like one of the only teams to do that. So I want to see us play like this in the Premier League now because our best home performances have come in the Champions League. PSV won 4-0, blew them apart. Sevilla, we won 2-0, blew them apart, to be honest. And against they won 6-0 and blew Lons apart. 3 wins, 3 clean sheets. You're looking at 12 goals on total, 12-0 in aggregate on our 3 home Champions League games. We're looking good. I just want to see us replicate this form in the Premier League. Now, there's 2 things I do want to touch upon, obviously, in terms of the game itself. I like the fact the selection Arteta chose. Those that watched my preview for this game would know that the team Arteta chose was exactly the same lineup that I said he should choose in my match preview. So clearly me and Arteta have been on the phone to each other saying, hey, Mikel, you got to listen to these tactics, my friend. So that was really good to see. I like his substitutions as well. But I'll be honest with you guys, I can't be the only one that thinks this. I really wanted him to bring on Ethan Nwaneri or Miles Lewis-Skelly. Really wanted him to bring on one of those 2 players. Because why not, man? The game's wrapped up. It's 5-0. Why not bring on an academy player? Give them some time in the team. Look, guys, Bukayo Saka, he's one of the best players at Arsenal, right? This brother made his debut in the Europa League. He got brought off the bench by Unai Emery. Let's not forget that. So when you're doing really well, it's the time to blood in these youngsters, man. We were 5-0 up at halftime. Bring on an Ethan Nwaneri for a Declan Rice. Bring on a Miles Lewis-Skelly, man. I really want to see one of them 2 get some game time. Now, it was nice to see Reece Nelson, for example, players like that, because I really do like those type of players, man. But I would have liked to see us bring on those youngsters. You know what I mean? Like Ethan Nwaneri, Miles Lewis-Skelly, because they're the future of this football club. The future of this football club. So, yeah, I would have liked to see that happen. But other than that, no complaints, really. It was good to see Kivior get some minutes. Obviously, you saw other players like Reece Nelson get some minutes, which was really nice to see as well. So I really enjoyed it overall from the team. Now, I still think we need a striker. Jesus was fantastic today. Fantastic in there. I thought his finish was superb as well. The way he sat down as a defender, a bit of Brazilian flair to get the goal. But I still think we need a striker, guys, because let's be honest about it right now, yeah? Can we win the Premier League with Gabriel Jesus and Eddie Nketiah up front? I doubt it. Look, I predicted us to win the Premier League, but I said that because I thought we were going to sign a striker in January. I've now potentially heard that Arsenal are forgetting about a striker until the summer and are trying to sign instead Douglas Luiz, a midfielder in January. Now, I appreciate we do need a midfielder, especially with Thomas Partey being unreliable in terms of fitness. He's based on the injury list every second of the season. But guys, let's be completely honest about it right now. I would much rather sign a striker than a midfielder in January. A striker is so necessary for us to win. So necessary. Guys, if we sign a midfielder, our chances of winning the Premier League and Champions League jump up about 5 or 6%. If we sign Douglas Luiz, we probably increase by about 5 or 6% chance of winning the Premier League and Champions League. If we sign an Ivan Toney or a Victor Osimhen in January, our chances of winning the Premier League and Champions League jump up 15-20%. Like, genuinely, that is the difference. Tell me one team in Premier League history that's won the Premier League without one player scoring 20+ goals for them. It doesn't really happen. That's my point. I think Chelsea won it one year with Lampard scoring 17 or 18. My point is, to win the Premier League, you need a proven goal scorer. Someone that can put the ball in the back of net 20, 30 times a season, and you're not sitting there going, oh, wow, what an incredible season. You're sitting there thinking, yeah, that's expected. If Harry Kane, Erling Haaland score 20 goals a season, no one's sitting there going, oh my God, it's an unbelievable season by then. That's just a normal season. That's their bread and butter. Whereas if Jesus, if Saka, if Erdegaard or Martinelli score 20 goals a season, we're all sitting there with standing ovations going, oh my God, what a brilliant season by then. That's the difference. Do you get what I mean? I think we really need a top caliber striker, guys. Genuinely, if we get a strike in January, it's so important because we can't mess up again. Like, if we sign a proper, I'm talking an Ivan Toney in January, we become favourites to win the Premier League, in my opinion, and close favourites to win the Champions League. Now, I think we've got a better chance of winning the Champions League than we do the Premier League because, in my eyes, Champions League, anything can happen. Anything can happen in the Champions League. It's knockout games, bro. Like, anything can happen. We've seen Tottenham make the Champions League final. Inter Milan made it to the Champions League final last year with Andre Onana in goal. Anyone that watched the Manchester United match today will know that Andre Onana is stinky. The brother can't save anything. So anything can happen in the Champions League. If you get a nice run together, if you get some momentum, if the chips fall in your favour, you can make it far in this competition. I really want to see us go far in this Champions League. Like I said before, last time we were in the Champions League, we were going to places like the Nou Camp with Flamini, El Neni, Iwobi, Danny Welbeck, Gabriel Paulista, Socrates, Mustafi. Like, are you having a laugh right now? Like, we're trying to go to these places with a bunch of scrubs. Let's be no offense, but some third-rate, second-rate players. And we're going to these big grounds. Now, when we go to the Champions League, we're going with Declan Rice, William Saliba, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, Martin Odegaard. Do you get the difference? Thomas Partey when he's back fit for when the Champions League knockout starts. Do you get what I mean, guys? Suddenly, we're going into the Champions League with a competitive team. I was born in 2002. I first remember watching Arsenal around 2008, 2009. As long as I've been alive, I've not remembered Arsenal having a competitive Champions League team. I don't remember it in my lifetime. I was too young to remember the Champions League final in 2006 we were in. So finally, I'm watching an Arsenal team that I actually think can go far in the Champions League. I genuinely think if we avoid a Man City and Real Madrid, we can go far, and to an extent a Bayern Munich as well. So guys, I'm really excited for this Champions League. We're top of the group. We're guaranteed our top place finish as well. So we will play a second-rate team when we get through to the next round of the Champions League. A team that finishes second in their groups, meaning we most likely avoid the Real Madrids, etc., the Bayern Munichs. So it's all looking up. So as far as I'm concerned, we've avoided Real Madrid, we've avoided Bayern Munich. We have to avoid Man City because they're another English team. Whoever we get in the next round, we should beat because we're better on paper than any of those teams. So I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in live chat. Guys, if you're on your own team, make sure you do subscribe on my road to 5,000 subscribers as well. If you love keeping up to date with Arsenal and football match reactions. RD12, appreciate you joining the stream, my friend. You're doing really well. Tomiyasu, what a baller, by the way. Yeah, Tomiyasu, fantastic performance, man. And big up Tomiyasu as well because he's not had frequent game time this season. He's really not, to be fair to the lad. But he's come in again today. He came in against Brentford, and again today, Tomiyasu came in at right back this time. Normally, he's been playing left back for Arsenal and putting a stellar performance. Up and down all day. He's got the engine on him. And his cross for the Odegaard goal as well. On the money, man. What a goal by Odegaard for that one as well. I'll talk through all the goals one by one. But yeah, Tomiyasu deserves a shout-out, man. Deserves a shout-out. What's done to Havertz, by the way? Yeah, another good performance by Havertz, man. He's making me eat my words bit by bit. Now, obviously, I'm not going to get carried away and go, oh my God, Havertz has finally landed. We've got our star player finally. Because look, there's still a long time to go. And the way I look at it, Lon's made everyone look good today. Like Arteta literally could have subbed me on. If I was in the stadium, I would have put my hand up and say, Mikel, get me on the pitch, my friend. I could have gone on the pitch today. Let's be real about it. So I'm not going to get carried away, but it is 2 goals in 2 games for Havertz. He's carried on his form from Saturday against Brentford, so it's all looking good. Let's see if he carries it on against Wolves now. That's the main thing, because the world-class players, right? And I'm not saying Havertz is world-class. He's nowhere near world-class right now. But the world-class players don't just perform on 1 game, 2 games, or 3 games. They perform consistently, season in, season out. That's what makes you an elite footballer. And we need to see that from Havertz, because as long as he's been in the Premier League, that's not been him. He's been inconsistent. That's been his problem. 1 game good, 1 game crap. We need to see him be a bit more consistent in the Premier League for Arsenal, definitely. Gabriel celebrating that block at 6-0 brick wall. Yeah, love to see that, man. Love to see when defenders want to defend. That's a really good sight when a team knows that, yes, 6-1 is obviously the same as 6-0 in terms of you're still qualifying, you're still top of your group, but a clean sheet is like a goal for these defenders. And I like to see that, man. I like to see when defenders celebrate that. And that's exactly what Gabriel was doing today, alongside Kivior when he came off the bench as well, and Saliba as well. Superb. But yeah, before I get into more of the comments, let's talk through the goals. So the first goal, Havertz, stinky defending from Lons, to be honest. Good attack by Arsenal. Gabriel Jesus headed it back across goal. And on the scene was Kai Havertz to tap it into the back of net. Right place, right time. Good finish. Second goal, I'm trying to remember all of them off the top of my head because there were so many that went in. The second goal, was that a Saka one? No, it was a Gabriel Jesus goal, I believe. Brilliant work from Saka running through, played Jesus, then he hooked it back into Jesus' path. And this is what I call composure from Jesus, man. Had the chance in his left foot, but he didn't snatch it. He rolled it onto his right foot and placed it into the bottom corner. That's what Jesus should have done against Tottenham. Who remembers when we played Tottenham at the Emirates? When he had that beautiful chance when, I believe it was Odegaard or Rice or something, robbed him, James Maddison, and Jesus gets put through, and he just snatches his opportunity and fires it over the bar. What he had today was a bit more composure, so I like to see that from him, rolled into the back of net. Saka got his goal as well, superb going off the back of a chance. He was in the right place, right time to chest it into the back of the net. Then we had the Martinelli goal, from in my eyes, one of the pickers of the bunch. Superb. What a pass by Tomiyasu, by the way, over to Martinelli. Great touch, bearing down on the defender, cuts inside, wraps it into the bottom corner. Basically a blueprint goal on how to be a winger. We've got the other goal. What was the 5th goal? 5th goal. Oh, this was a brilliant goal as well. Tomiyasu making the run in behind, crosses it back post, and then Odegaard on the scene to basically just drill it into the bottom corner. Superb goal. And then finally the penalty from Jorginho wrapped up a brilliant display. So yeah, 6 goals, 6-star performance, top of the group. Happy days for us. Mali, appreciate you joining the stream, my friend. I'm doing really well. Hey Dennis, great win. Happy days indeed. Isaac, appreciate you joining the stream, my friend. I'm doing really well. Young Gunners, long live. Yes, sir, long live indeed. For the Arsenal, I would have liked to see Miles Lewis-Skelly and Ethan Nwaneri come off the bench, to be honest with you guys. I would have liked to see Arsenal blood in some more youngsters because it's a good opportunity to do so. I mean, you've got them on the bench. It's not every day you go 4-0, 5-0 up where you can afford to take those liberties and bring on those players. So I was actually a bit surprised to not see those players come off the bench because I remember when Ethan Nwaneri got his debut against Brentford last season, we were 3-0 up. It was looking easy. It was easy. We were 3-0 up and coasting. So Arteta said, okay, Ethan Nwaneri, get some minutes. He was 15 at the time. Opportunity again, 6-0 up against Arsenal. Not only do you get some minutes, you get some Champions League minutes. So I would have loved to see those players come off the bench and Ethan Nwaneri and Miles Lewis-Skelly. Like, I appreciate you wanting to keep the first team out there, but at halftime, I'll be honest with you guys, I think Arteta could have subbed off 70% of the team if he had the opportunity to do so. I think I've debated this actually. I've said, you know how the subs now, you've got 5 subs rather than 3. I personally think you should be allowed to make as many subs as possible as long as you do it within the 3 slots. So you have 3 slots to make subs, but you can make as many subs as possible, basically. I think that's fair because you're not wasting time because you're still doing it on only 3 time slots. But you can make as many subs as possible, and we'll say a maximum of like 3 or 4 at a time, let's say. Something like that. I think that's something Arsenal, something that the Premier League and Champions League could trial in my eyes. Because today, we could have made 11 subs. At halftime, we could have subbed off the whole team like it was a friendly game. Genuinely, I think there wouldn't have been a problem with that. But who knows, man? Who knows? United is not City. Yeah, that was it. But yeah, what a game earlier today, by the way. Galatasaray versus Manchester United. What a game to watch, man. I loved every minute of it. Kat, appreciate you joining the stream, my friend. I'm doing really, really well. 6-0, you say? Yeah, man. 6-0, fantastic victory. Delighted with how it went. Super, super happy. And through we go to the next round, man. Through we go to the next round. Top of the group as well. We're avoiding the Real Madrids. We're avoiding the Bayern Munichs. Man City, obviously, we're avoiding because they're another Premier League team. Happy days. I wonder who we get in the next round, man. I'm looking forward to it, guys. Genuinely, I'm looking forward to February, March time where we face our Champions League team, man. Who are we going to get? I can't wait. Saliba pocketed him. Yeah, Saliba, man. Guys, I'm going to make this point right now, yeah? I think Saliba, in my eyes, is one of the best centre-backs in world football. Not best young centre-back, one of the best centre-backs in world football, full stop. I think that kid's a machine, man. An absolute machine. I think he's quality. Genuine quality from Saliba. Every time I watch him play, I'm thinking, yeah, that's a proper centre-back and proper footballer. He has everything to his game. He's got height. He's got strength. He's got technical ability. He's got speed. He's got the ability to be agile. He wins the ball on the ground. He wins the ball in the air. What can't Saliba do at his young age? Genuinely, I think he's stone cold killer, man. Stone cold killer. I think he's absolutely fantastic, William Saliba. And yeah, I give him the utmost credit, utmost respect. I think he's one of the best centre-backs in world football right now, to be genuinely honest with you guys. And long may it continue, man. Long may it continue with Saliba. Because we've got a real player there. I've said this before. I think Saliba and Declan Rice are two absolute game changers for Arsenal. Them two are our two biggest, what's the word? Like world-class trusted players. Like, I think William Saliba and Declan Rice walk into any team in world football. Any team in world football, those two players could play for. Genuinely. No doubt in my mind. Them two will go into the team of like basically of the year right now. Them two. Like, if you want me to build the best football 11 right now, I will put them two in that team. Genuinely would. And you need that. Because if you want to go far in the Champions League, Premier League, you need world beaters. Arsenal, for a long time, have not had world beaters. We've had Ozil and Sanchez, and they've been close. But for a long time, we've had good players, but not elite players. Like, when you talk about players of the year, no one mentions an Arsenal player. Now with Saliba and Declan Rice, if they're not mentioned unfairly, because them two are world beaters, guys. Trust me when I say that. Kwanjari, appreciate you joining the stream. I've ended up doing really well. How good was Havertz today? 2 goals in 2 games to the big German monster. Well, there we go, man. He's starting to gain his form now, and that's what we want to see. Because, look, like I said, I'm not a massive fan of Havertz. When we signed him, I said it was a bad signing. I'm not going to flip-flop now and suddenly change my mind and go, oh, wow, what a brilliant spend of 65 million. But one thing I will say for an absolute fact, I know my opinion on Havertz, but that doesn't mean I don't want him to succeed. I would rather Havertz comes out and has a 10 out of 10 performance every week and prove me wrong than him drop stinkers and prove me right. I would rather see Arsenal succeed than me be proved right. So Havertz, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Against Brentford, you proved me wrong. Again today, you scored a goal, was fantastic, I thought, in the game. So yeah, he's doing well so far. Keep it going, my friend, man. Keep it going because, look, I know, obviously, the bar's very low for you, given the performances so far for Arsenal Football Club, but you did cost £65 million, my friend. Like, we haven't paid £65 million for Donny to turn up 2 games every 10. Like, we need you to turn up consistently, man. Now, I'm not talking rock up 1 game, then go missing the next 2. I'm talking perform week in, week out for us, my friend. Like, we cost a lot of money. So, I'm looking for Havertz to really turn up now for Arsenal Football Club. And I'm wishing for him to do so, man. I wish him the absolute best. I want him to succeed. But yeah, good performance there. Got a goal as well. I don't like his celebration. This thing is a bit childish, but other than that, big up Havertz. Ayo Omoye, appreciate you joining the stream. My friend up doing really well. Nice one, pick it up. Yeah, bro. I really appreciate it. I'm not sure what your comments refers to, but appreciate you joining regardless. By the way, this is Young Femi. Oh, there we go, Young Femi, man. I just changed my account name. Well, there we go. I remember Young Femi. What do you want me to call you? Kwanjori or Young Femi? Whichever one you like, I'll call you that. 5 years ago, Sancar made his debut in Europa League. I remember. It was in Europa League. Unai Emery gave him his debut. Big up Unai Emery for that. He's smashing it, by the way, at Aston Villa right now, Unai Emery. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now's the time, bro. Now's the time. You've got Ethan Nwaneri, one of the most exciting young players at Arsenal. You got Miles Lewis-Skelly, who's been really good for us. You have got other players like Charles Sago Jr., what's called Amario Cosbury, whatever his name is. However you pronounce his name. You got some young players at Arsenal that are really good, man. Really good. Real Waters is another one that's been talked about. So now's the time, man. Obviously, it's hard in the Premier League when you're fighting for titles too. Blood in these young players. Like, Saka got a bit lucky because when he came into the Arsenal team, we were struggling at that time. When you're struggling, and it's easy to bring in young players because A, you might as well because you're struggling in any and B, it gives the fans something to latch on to. When you see your team struggling, but you see a young player who's like 18, 19, giving their all and bursting onto the scene, you can get behind that as fans because you see that as the embodiment of the football club and the future of the team. It's obviously harder now when you see a team really thriving because it's hard to bring in young players then. But now's your opportunity, bring in those players. But it's one of those things, man. That would have been the cherry on the cake for me, the icing on the cake, if we saw an Ethan Nwaneri or Miles Lewis-Skelly come off the bench, something like that. Havertz was okay. I thought he was better than okay, to be fair. Look, I don't think he was outstanding, but he played all right today, Havertz. I thought he was decent. Nightmare team, how do we even progress with that? Oh, my God. Like, how Arsene Wenger got El Neni, Koscielny, Socrates, Mustafi, Bellerin. You're talking players like, oh, my God, Debuchy. Remember Debuchy? Petr Cech, Ospina. You're talking Flamini, El Neni, Iwobi, Ozil, who was washed up at that time. Let's be honest about it. Danny Welbeck, Lucas Perez, Gabriel Paulista. You got players like this and you're making the knockout rounds of the Champions League. Like, when Barcelona, Bayern Munich drew us, they must have been licking their lips going, yeah, what a team to play against. Arsenal, easy pickings, man. They used to demolish us. I watched my team get absolutely battered. 5-1 at the Emirates, 5-1 away from home. Get torn apart, man. 8-2 on aggregate and stuff like this. Like, I watched my team get absolutely torn apart, man. So now when we play in the Champions League, I don't fear that. Like, we might lose in the Champions League, fine. We lost to Lens away from home, but we won't. I don't think we're gonna get torn apart. I think we've got a good chance in this Champions League of going very far. Very, very far, to be honest with you guys. Will I testify? I appreciate you joining the stream. I think they're doing really, really well. I'm proud by Arsenal from Ethiopia. Big up yourself coming from Ethiopia watching the stream. I'm proud of Arsenal as well, man. Fantastic performance. I think they did us all proud today, Arsenal. So, yeah, we'll give them the utmost credit. Delighted with the whole performance from them. Edits Clan, Kid123. Appreciate you joining the stream. I think they're doing really well. 6-0. Come on, you guys. Amazing game. Amazing game indeed, man. Absolutely enjoyed it from start to finish. I thought it was superb, this football match. Superb. Really good performance as well. And I like the fact from Arsenal, a couple of things. One, we started fast because we don't really seem to start fast in the Premier League, unfortunately. But two, not only did we start fast, we scored and we did what I want to see us do more often, which is turn into assassins. We scored one goal, then quickly scored it 2, 3, 4, 5 and took the game out of sight. Because how many times do you see a team score a goal, maybe score 2, but then give up after scoring 2 and try and like play defensive too early? You saw Manchester United today against Galatasaray. Made it 2-0 and then just basically caved in. Ends up drawing the game 3-3. They were 2-0 up and 3-1 up. Arsenal, we did the opposite. We went 1-0 up, 2-0 up, and kept our foot on the gas. Made it 3-0, still didn't give up. 4-0, still went at it. And at 5-0, that's when we started to go, okay, it's 5-0. Let's now start to actually relax a bit more, conserve our energy for the weekend, and go again then. So I really like the whole game plan for Arsenal today. I like the way we execute the game plan as well. I like the way we manage the game as well, man. A 6-0 victory, but a very comfortable 6-0 victory as well. Barassa, Davis Anthony, appreciate you joining the stream, my friend. Hope you enjoy it. Yep, here we go. Here we go indeed, man. Superb from Arsenal. Facts, Saliba, top class, man. Top class William Saliba, bro. My eyes, gonna say it once again, one of the best centre-backs in Europe is William Saliba. This brother is stone cold, man. Stone cold Steve Austin, as they say. That kid's unbelievable, man. Absolutely unbelievable. By the way, if you're on your own, make sure you do subscribe. My road to 5,000 subscribers. If you'd like to keep up to date with Arsenal and football streams, also make sure to hit the bell notification button so you never miss any future streams on this channel. Imagine we get Galatasaray or Copenhagen. I'll be honest with you, my friend. I want to avoid Galatasaray. I want them to get through, but I want to avoid them because they're my Turkish team. I'm Turkish, so I don't want to face Galatasaray because that's a clash in allegiances. I want to see Galatasaray get through, but avoid Arsenal. Let's look at the Champions League groups, actually, guys. That's a good idea. Let's look at the Champions League groups and fixtures. Let me share my screen so I can show all you wonderful people what is going on. Present, share screen, Champions League, share. Is it working? I don't know why it's not letting. The share screen feature is bugging out. Oh my God, the share screen feature keeps bugging out on StreamYard, man. It's actually a mess. I can't share my screen right now for some reason. But yeah, right now the Champions League, right, guys? If we look at the table, Copenhagen and Galatasaray could go through. They drew with Bayern Munich, Copenhagen, 0-0. What a stinky game. Then you've got obviously PSV most likely to go through, but Arsenal can't face PSV. Napoli, I want to avoid. Napoli's a decent team. Obviously, they're not as good as last season, but they're still a decent team. Napoli or Braga could go through. Inter Milan, you want to avoid Inter Milan or Real Sociedad, to be honest, guys. Them two are decent as well. Lazio, you want to avoid as well, / Atletico Madrid. They're two good teams. And then you've got PSG you want to avoid. But to be fair, it is what it is if we get them. RB Leipzig, it is what it is if we get them. And Porto as well. But guys, let's be honest about it right now. I read off all those teams. We're better than all those teams. Genuinely, we're better than Copenhagen / Galatasaray. We're better than Napoli. We're better than Inter Milan. We're better than Lazio and Atletico Madrid. We're better than PSG, given PSG drew 1-1 to Newcastle yesterday, thanks to an absolute criminal penalty they got, and lost 4-1 at St. James's Park. We're better than Leipzig, and we're better than Porto. So to be honest, guys, there's no reason we shouldn't make it through in the Champions League. No reason whatsoever. We're better than all those teams. Much better than all those teams. So in my eyes, like I said, if we avoid Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and Man City, we're the best of the rest. We are. We're the 4th best team in the Champions League. So for me, I don't fear anyone. I genuinely don't fear anyone in this Champions League other than those 3 teams. If we finish top of our group, which you have done now, we can get basically any of those teams. I'm happy with any of those teams. Genuinely happy with any of them. So I'm delighted with how it's gone, man. Absolutely delighted with how this has gone overall. Now, obviously, I'd love to see a Braga get through instead of Napoli through to next round, but anything's possible, anything can happen. But overall, happy days. I'm delighted with how it's all gone. But yeah, Jude Bellingham scored again for Real Madrid, by the way. That's absolutely crazy to see all that happen. The youth development at Arsenal is amazing. Napoli are dangerous. Yeah, the Arsenal, obviously, Haaland, big up Haaland, man. Superb stuff there. I feel like the way Arsenal's academy has grown has been superb, man. Superb. I feel like, look, guys, I know obviously it's understated this, and a lot of people have said this otherwise, but in an era where football is dominated by money, it is basically a competition of who's got the most money. It's a rich man's sport nowadays. We've got Staka one wing and Martinelli the other wing, who cost us a combined of £6 million. One from Haaland and one from Ituano in Brazil. Cost us £6 million combined. Our two wingers. If you throw in Trossard, that's like, he cost us like 20 million. So you're talking about 26 million for 3 brilliant wingers that play on rotation. That is brilliant use of money, man. Superb stuff. And look, guys, if your academy is working, you're going to churn out talent all the time, man. It's like a factory. It's like a production line. If your academy is working well, you're going to churn out talent week after week, year after year. And look, not every player is good enough to play for Arsenal. Not every player. And especially when you've built a good team right now, unfortunately, a lot of these players might not make it to Arsenal unless they're really good. But that's fine, because then you sell them on. Joe Willock sold to Newcastle for 40 million. Balogun for 40 million. Patino could be sold on for 20, 30 million. Do you get what I mean? Nketiah could go potentially. So it's good to have a good, obviously, Haaland like supply line, because it's like assets. You can then sell them on for money and then reinvest that money elsewhere. So yeah, I'm always a massive fan of Haaland. One of my dream jobs is to be a scout / run a football academy. So yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Napoli dangerous. Yeah, of course. I think all Italian teams are dangerous in the Champions League. I mean, you saw in the Champions League last season, 3 Italian teams made the semi-finals, right? If I'm not mistaken, no, 2. 2 Italian teams made the semi-finals. AC Milan and Inter Milan. Napoli came far as well. So Italian teams in Europe are dangerous because they're going to play a dangerous brand of football. You know what I mean? Like they're obviously very, very tough to play against. So obviously I would like to avoid it, but Napoli are not the same team as last season. They've fallen off big time. So if we get them, we get them, man. I don't fear them that much. I need Braga to go through so we face Braga or someone easy. Yeah, of course. But at the same time, look, guys, we don't need to fear anyone anymore. Like, we've got a good team now. Obviously, the old days of Arsenal, the Flaminis and the Welbecks and the Alex Iwobis and the Mohamed El Nenis, etc. Obviously, you're sitting there praying for an easy game. But when you've got a team like this, guys, like genuinely, don't worry about who we get. Have the big man mentality, big dog mentality, right? Where we get who we get. It don't matter, man. It don't matter, because we're the big dog on campus. We get who we get. We're the winners. Let them fear us. So we've avoided, obviously, the Man City's, Real Madrid's and Bayern Munich because we finished top of our group. Now, let's see who we get, man. And when we go to play PSV in a few weeks' time, play all the kids, man. Wallahi, send the academy out there. Send the whole academy out to Eindhoven in a few weeks' time, because don't risk anyone. I know, obviously, you want to take every game seriously, but there's no need. Genuinely, there's no need. Send the under-21s out to Eindhoven. We finished top of our group already. We've won the group. Send the kids out. Genuinely, guys. I was only ashamed that Lewis Skelly and Nwaneri didn't make an appearance tonight. Yeah, same. Same with me. I would have loved to see Miles Lewis Skelly or even Nwaneri make an appearance, but look, it's one of those things, man. It's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. But yeah, I think I would have loved to see that happen myself. But look, other players got some game time. Kivior got some game time. You've got what's my man's name? Reece Nelson got some game time, who I'm a massive fan of, by the way. I love what Reece Nelson brings to the team at times. So it's not the end of the world. And look, we won 6-0. No injuries as well, I don't believe. Knock wood. I mean, I don't know what happened to Zinchenko and Tomiyasu. They could have got injured. Or maybe it was just fitness. I don't know. But yeah, I don't believe any injuries. So happy days, man. We're going to Wolves on Saturday. Top of the table already. Let's try and get a win there. I actually want Lens to go through in our group. Yeah, same. I wouldn't mind them going through as well. I think they're actually a tough team to play against, especially away from home. But I think PSV will most likely go through, to be honest with you guys. But yeah, overall, everyone, I'm going to start to round off this stream now. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. My next Arsenal stream will come on the weekend for Arsenal versus Wolves in the Premier League. My other streams I will be covering is Newcastle versus Manchester United, also on Saturday at 8 p.m. the game starts. So the stream will start about 10 p.m. when the game's finished. And also for Super Sunday, I believe it's Man City versus Tottenham. So 3 streams coming this weekend. Arsenal, Wolves, Newcastle, Manchester United, and Man City, Liverpool. Set your reminders, subscribe, hit the bell notification button so you do not miss it. Trust me, guys, the channel is getting bigger and better. You want to be a part of the journey. So you have to make sure you subscribe down below and join in on all the streams and let us know your thoughts in the live chat down below. And I've got a few other projects I mentioned that are coming soon, very shortly, hopefully just before 2024. My aim has got a couple projects coming to this channel, something we've never ever seen before in football with you guys. So yeah, really excited to show that around when it comes. But I appreciate everyone that's tuned in. As always, subscribe, bell notification button, drop a like down below, and I hope to catch you all in my next one. Take care, guys.